Okay, so this is just a quick video on how to play the verse and chorus for The Importance of Being Idle. I'm going to first demonstrate the verse and chorus with some really high singing. I apologise if you can hear me croaking a little bit during this demonstration. And then I'm going to break down some of the strumming parts and different features of this song for you to practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for your verse, you've got a 4-chord progression: A minor, F major 7, C, then a quick chord change, B11 to E. Now, the chord changes themselves in this section, they're fairly easy if you've seen these chords on their own or in smaller quantities before. The difficult part with this song is there's quite a lot of chords to link together. Now, look at the fingers that you're using for the pairs of chords. A minor to F major 7. You should be leaving your first finger on the B string for both of those chords. And make sure when you're playing F major 7 that you've got your high E string open. Again, check the fingers at the start of these videos for the chord sheet. If you're finding it difficult to follow that first finger staying on the string, then of course go away and practice those 2 chords over and over like that until you can put all of your fingers on the strings at the same time and leave that first finger on. If you're able to change between these chords smoothly without keeping your first finger on, then don't make life hard for yourself and try to keep the first finger on. If you're doing the chord change and that's it, you've done it, you know, it's there. Move on and practice for stuff you find harder. Your next pair of chords are going to be C to B11 and then E. So F major to C, again leave your first finger on. And to change over to C, all you need to do is move the 3rd and 2nd fingers, that's F major 7, up a string each onto C. So for your B11 chord, all of your fingers have to change. Now if you've played B7, the only difference between B11 and B7 is you don't need to have your little finger on the top string for B11. You can also call this chord B7 add 11, but B11 is probably the easiest way to remember it. Or just think of it as B7 with no little finger. To change over to E, leave your 2nd finger on the A string, that's B11. Move your 1st finger down a string and your 3rd finger up a string, and that's E major. B11, E major. Now your strumming pattern for the verse is it's the same thing throughout each bar, apart from at the end when you do B11 to E. Your strumming pattern is going down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. Listen again. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. If you've learnt the introduction, it's really similar to the 4 bars of A minor. Your first 3 strums are exactly the same as what you're repeating in the introduction, but you're missing out the next down strum and going up, down, up instead. Up, down, up. Again, really try and focus on getting this different strumming pattern there. But if you're finding it very difficult and you can actually do all the chord changes and you just want to play the song, you can play those 4 bars, that 4-bar rhythm from the introduction, which would sound like this. F, C. But when you get to the last 2 chords, B11 to E, you've got to change it a little bit. Now the difficult part here is you're going to change to E on the up strum. Like that. Down, down, up. And that's your E chord. Down, down, up. So practice it this way like I've just done there. Put the metronome on at a steady speed. And you're just going to go down, down, up. Down, down, up. And wait 2 clicks. So down, down, up, click, click. Down, down, up, click, click. And then at the end you'll see on the tab there's 4 more strums there when you've got your E chord on. Your 4 extra strums are going down, up, down, up. So the full bar with a click will sound like this. 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up. And with the C major bar before, it'll sound like this. 3, 4. Now the important part there is, when you change to your E chord on the up, you've immediately got to strum down, up after it. Down, up, like that. Okay, so for your chorus, it's fairly straightforward really. You've got 2 chords, D minor to A minor. Now this is, it's a fairly easy chord change, but all of your fingers do have to change strings, so this is not quite a beginner chord change, it's sort of like an improving beginner chord change, or like an intermediate type of open chord change. It's certainly easier than C to G, where all of your fingers have got to change strings, but it's one which you might not have seen an awful lot. So you should be using your 2nd, 3rd and 1st fingers for D minor, and then the 2nd, 3rd and 1st again for A minor. Now here we've got the staccato strumming again. You're doing 3 staccato down strums, and then you're going down, up. Listen again. Now again, try and do the staccato strums if you've not seen them before, because they're just going to make your rhythm playing experience much better. If you don't try them with this song, you're going to find another one at some other point which has got them in it again. So try and stick at it and get these staccato strums in there. Then the next part, which is quite difficult here, is because you're going down, up immediately before you change chord, you might hesitate a little bit and before you put the next chord on like this. And stop strumming. Now you should be familiar already with my idea of don't stop strumming, keep strumming to help you get the chord changes, because even if you don't get your fingers there perfectly, it will still sound better than if you pause like I did before. What you also might find is your fingers will come off the chord a little bit quicker before you change. Now that sounds okay, because it only happens for a split second. You really won't notice extra open strings happening like this. I'm going to actually take my fingers off the D minor chord before I change to A minor a little bit early, and you'll be able to hear it, but it won't sound wrong, it won't sound like a mistake. See what you think. 2, 3, 4. So you can tell it's there. And if you actually listen really, really closely to any recording of someone changing between a quick pair of chords like that, you can actually pick out bits of open strings happening. That's because it's pretty much impossible to get your fingers to change immediately. So keep strumming, don't change that strumming pattern and it will work. One final way you can get comfortable with this keep strumming idea is just play one chord over and over again, but with that strumming pattern, so you know how it feels to play it for the chord change, like this. And that should help you get used to strumming between those chord changes. Now for the last part of the chorus, you're going to play your A minor and D minor 3 times, and then you get to F major 7. Again, you've got a different strumming pattern now, but it's only slightly different. You've got to try and strum like this. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. This is quite similar to the introduction, really, when you're playing, where you're strumming the lower strings and then the higher strings. What's a little bit different here is you've got to accent the second and final strum. Accent is different to staccato. You strum loud, but you don't cut it off. So accent, you play a little bit louder, so that it stands out, and it gives it that, again, that sort of nodding your head sort of feel to it. So you play your F major 7 for 2 bars. Keep doing the strumming on a G, and then E7, 3 bars. Okay, so those last few chords, F major 7 to G. You can play G however you want, but on the song they are using the version which has got your 3rd and 4th fingers on the top 2 strings. You play G for just 1 bar, and then you've got E7. Now this is this easier E7 than you might have seen already. It's the one where you just take your 3rd finger off the D string, so you get that D note there. So it's just your 2nd and 1st fingers on those strings. And you're playing E7 for 3 bars, so you've got to play that strumming pattern 3 times. Now the easiest way to keep track of this is on the song, on the final bar of E7, there's a drum fill that goes for the whole bar, so you should hear 2, and then it goes into the next section of the song. Okay, so for a video concerning the last parts of the song when the guitar solos are happening, again, check the next video, it should be in the description below, for some more tips.